Hey everybody, it's Mr. Yago here with Science 9. We are going to go through a little quick screencast on dimensional analysis and how we convert different units. As you can see here, I have a problem. It says convert 1.5 miles to centimeters. Now, a couple of things I want you to think about before you get started. I want you to realize that miles are a big number. Centimeters are a much smaller distance. So you need to think in your head, when I finish this problem, is it going to be a big number or a little number? In this case, I would almost be asking you to look at something 1.5 miles away and measure how many centimeters that is. Now, you could easily go to Google and you could type this in and get an answer. That's not what we're looking for here. We want you guys to be able to convert without that resource. So one thing that you're going to need is a conversion factor sheet. Now, we made this nice one for Science 9. You can see we're just basically going to be using this part right here. We got paper copies available, digital copies available to you. But we are going to utilize, specifically in this problem, the length conversion. Now, each of these are equal. These are conversion factors. So 1 mile equals 5,280 feet. 0.621 miles equals 1 kilometer. These are equal units. These are conversion factors. Now, in terms of how we tackle this problem mathematically, you always want to start off by writing down what you know. So currently, we realize that we have 1.5 miles. So I'm going to start there. I got 1.5 mi. Now, if you want, you could put that over 1. I'm just going to make sure I got a good decimal place here. And next, you're going to want to incorporate a conversion factor. And that's where we are going to go backwards, and we are going to identify what specific conversion factor that we are going to use. Now, this is where there can be some variety. If we want to get from miles to centimeters, we got to first start with something that has miles in it. So if we look, we have miles to feet. We also have miles to kilometers. Now, feet would be okay. We could figure it out, but I'm going to choose this one because it's going to get us into meters and metric. So 0.621 miles, and I'll put this in here, is going to be equal to 1 km or kilometer. Now, please note that when we do multiplication of fractions, what's on top must match what's below. All right, that's one of our rules. So you can see miles and miles here. Now, if I cross that off, we are to kilometers. How do I get kilometers to meters? Well, one thing you know, and this is not on that sheet, but you should start to realize that, is that there is 1,000 meters in 1 kilometer. There is also 100 centimeters in 1 meter. Now, these are equal, these are equal, these are equal. And if I follow my units, kilometers, kilometers, meters, meters, I am left with centimeters. Now, these two are not on that conversion sheet, but you should know that by now. So everything on top gets multiplied. So 1.5 times 1,000 times 100. And then you're going to go about dividing that by 0.621. So I'm just going to pull up my calculator on here so you can kind of know what I'm doing as I'm going through this process. Hello, calculator. Where are you? There you are. So what you're going to put into the calculator, especially if you don't have a nice graphing calculator, is you want to put this in appropriately. So first do everything on top. So I'm going to multiply by 1,000. Equal that. Then I'm going to multiply by 100. That is everything that was on top. So this times this times this times this. Now I got that answer. Now all I'm going to do is I'm going to only have to divide it by 0.621. So I'm going to put that in. When I do that, I get an answer of 241,545.8. 9372. Now, that is in centimeters. Now, if we take a look, my significant figures, which does matter, was 2. I'm multiplying, so it's the least sig figs overall. So that means I got to round it to here. Does that 1 move it? No. So my sig fig answer would actually be 240,000 centimeters. And that right there is going to be our actual answer. So things you need to do skill-wise: identify what we are going to move to and where from, so miles to centimeters. We then need to take a look at our conversion factor sheet and see if there is an appropriate conversion factor to use. These above and below equal each other. And then from there, once you've got to your final destination, I like to cross my units out to make sure that I have gotten there. I just multiply everything on the top and then divide by whatever is on the bottom. And then you get your answer. Don't forget about sig figs. We're going to go through lots of practice with this. If you have any questions, please ask your science teacher or feel free to watch this one again. Thanks for your time. See you guys later.